Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm not sure there's going to be too much of a video for you this time round. We've brought the motorhome to Alton Water in Suffolk for a weekend for a family gathering, so haven't done much filming at all because of that, but also because it has been absolutely stifling hot. It's been like 27, 28 degrees and there isn't really any shade where we're staying, so we've been just basically lying low and trying to keep ourselves and the dogs as cool as possible. So not been out doing a great deal. It's cooled down a little bit. Today's the second evening, so I've brought Sandy out for a walk along the reservoir here, which is very nice. So actually, if it wasn't quite as hot, it would be brilliant to get out and about exploring that during the daytime as well. I think it's probably still a little bit warm for Archie, so he's back doing some socialising while we get a few steps, because hopefully it's cool enough now for her. But yeah, it's quite an interesting place. We haven't really explored it, as I say, because of the heat, but looks pretty good. We're off towards the coast tomorrow, and I think the weather is due to get a little bit cooler, possibly wetter. So again, not sure how much filming we'll do there, but yeah, whatever we get, we'll share with you. Although the main focus of our weekend was Suffolk, we actually started off in Essex as we took a quick stop to have a little walk in Maldon. It was pretty hot, so we didn't spend long here, and we tried to seek out the shade where we could. After 2 nights at Alton Water, we headed towards the coast and White House Beach campsite. It didn't take Sandy long to settle in. There are 2 parts to this campsite, the seaside bit where we stayed, and also an inland section. We'll do a separate campsite review for you to have a more detailed look. The rain didn't last long, and as the evening came, we headed out to see what the beach was like. We'd read online that this beach would be shingly, but there's a path that leads you down towards the water's edge, and it's actually reasonably sandy down there, so the dogs enjoyed it more than we expected them to.
Slow down, hold on, take a breath. If I could, I'd make me feel less. Something in my brain causes stress. So come on, make me feel different. You wanna hold, don't hold back. Oh, your little drama's got me mad.
Then we headed back through the residential streets of Kessingland to the campsite, where we hunkered down for the night. But first, Sandy couldn't resist barking at a man who was having a phone conversation outside. By the way, that pineapple is just a pineapple light. It doesn't denote anything more dodgy than that. The sunshine and blue skies were out in full force the next morning, and we headed into Lowestoft. We parked by Claremont Pier and walked first of all towards the South Pier. We took a look at the swing bridge. Archie wasn't too keen on the terrain, so had to be carried over it. Sandy was a bit more keen on it, but still a little bit scared of all the strange noises as the lorries went over it. We turned round here and headed back towards the motorhome. We popped our heads into the East Point Pavilion, which looked like a really funky place to get some food, but it was a bit warm on the day that we visited, so we decided against that. We did make use of the public toilets, which were very good. quick pit stop at the motorhome to cool off the dogs a bit and make sure that they had a good drink of water before we headed in the other direction. A quick Google search had suggested a cafe that looked pretty good, so that was our destination. En route, we passed pretty much every style of beach hut that you could imagine, which made it quite an interesting walk for saddos like us that are into that sort of seafront architecture. Sunrise at Zach's didn't disappoint. We managed to find a table and settled down for a couple of coffees, a bacon roll, and in my case, a hot donut with whippy ice cream. It was excellent. Our original plan was to head back at this point, but we'd seen an advert for these brand new beach huts which were being sold for £30,000 each, so we thought we'd take a look at those and see what you get for your money. Not a great deal, it turns out, because there were some doors open later on, but architecturally they do look pretty good. Our nosiness had an additional benefit because we actually found a bit of the beach that was accessible to dogs. It was nice and sandy, so we popped on there so that they could stretch their legs and feel the sand between their toes. Our pierside parking was running out, so we headed back there and decided to move the motorhome to this other car park that we spotted on our walk. The weather was too good to head off too quickly, so we spent a few more hours chilling out here and enjoying the views. Then it was time to head home, stopping off at Cambridge Services for a cheeky pizza. We weren't really sure what to expect from the Suffolk coast. We were expecting shingly beaches and maybe not brilliant scenery, but what we found we thought was really attractive, and the beach in Lowestoft itself was lovely and sandy. It's not somewhere we've really thought about going to on holiday, because although it's not actually that far, it involves travelling on some pretty rubbish cross-country roads. But having whetted our appetite, we'd definitely go back there.